Good Monday morning to you, my pizza belly fraggles of unrelenting, exuberant rainy day joy. Coffee cheers to you. It is I, Hallie, with your weekly reading book review, May 2025, episode 2. I read a little. I was very scattered this week, but we still have some books to talk about because that's who I am. Okay, so the first one I finished, I believe I had just begun last week, and I was very confused about the chapter headers with the dates. And I finally figured out that BD meant before drowning and AD meant after drowning. And things weren't happening in 100 AD with elevators and telephones and cars and things. So confused. So if I didn't say it, here is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. This is a beautiful edition. It was a bestseller for a while, and so they made it even prettier. Got to show you pretty marbleized end papers and that gorgeous golden key on the front. It wasn't for me. It wasn't bad. It was fantasy. It was academic, so dark academia. The setting was amazing. There was a fairy king and magic and research and enemies to lovers, I guess, or awkward to, anyway. So it was okay. It just wasn't for me. Her backstory was a little triggering for me. It made sense in context of the story. Whatever. So you might love it. Please go forth and read it. Enjoy the blurbs and reviews you see online. It's just a beautiful piece of book. So it's probably going to stay in my collection because shiny and pretty. Okay. I also finished, finally, Shakespeare's Henry IV, Part 1. Highlighted a lot of things, as I mentioned over lunch on whatever day that was. I took myself out to lunch. Lots of great takedowns. I know Shakespeare insults are plenty online. There are Shakespeare insult generators and card decks and whatever else. But it was pretty funny. So, again, it just kind of the politics go whoosh and the battles go whoosh and the who's who and who's in charge and who wants to overthrow who whoosh. But I like the characters. So, we shall read eminently Part 2. And we might have to skip the voting just because I got to move it along. And I'll just I will handwrite, illustrate a quote for my Shakespeare journal of quotes as we go through his canon this year. And then I'll share some other favorites. Anyway, Streganona. I just listened to the SCBWI podcast interview with Barbara McClintock, who just illustrated Tommy DePola. Why is his name not on the cover? There it is, Tommy DePola's finale manuscript. May he rest in peace. But this is classic Tommy DePola, Streganona. And I just wanted to, they were talking about his illustration style, how it was informed by Renaissance art and Mexican folk art and those panels of early comic strips and things. And so I just wanted to look at that. His color work is also beautiful and his stylizations. And you know how I love stunning kidlit. So enjoyed going back through that one. It was more magical than I remembered. And then finally the Hubs and I finished the read aloud of Kate DiCamillo's FERRIS. Nathan loved it. The Hubs, he's obsessed. And Pinky is just great. So we quote a lot of things from this book at each other now, mostly just fools, as if we've lost our 2 front teeth. So please, if you haven't read it, I looked it up in an AR book finder. It's only like 30,000 words for those of you looking for a shorter middle grade, or if you want to read aloud at night that won't ruin your voice. Highly recommend the brief and brilliant, succinct, easy to read, delightful, full character, quirky cast of Kate DiCamillo's FERRIS. Appropriate for all ages. Saturday was a wonderful day, and I went over to my friend Ruthie's house, and I introduced her to High School Musical, the series on Disney+. I'm just showing you the classic High School Musical. It's just brilliant. I laughed, I cried. We had to pause it because we were laughing so hard. The music is beautiful. The acting's terrific. The characters, the cast, the snarky theater nerd jokes aplenty. It's just great. So if you're a fan of the original, if you're not a fan of the original, if you just like good TV, highly recommend High School Musical, the series. Tim Federle is my writer, like writing, bro from another mother. He just doesn't know me, but we share a sense of humor. Anyway, also currently reading MOMO ARASHIMA by misa sugiura, sorry. And this is number 2 in the trilogy. This is very much middle grade fantasy with lots of wonderful Japanese folklore and monsters and demons and heroes and friend groups banding together to vanquish evil and save their classmates and missing children and otherworldly adventures and all the things. So very much reminiscent of Ruth or Percy Jackson. So if you're into that, you're gonna love the MOMO series. So MOMO ARASHIMA, this is number 2, Breaks the Mirror of the Sun by misa sugiura, and I love this series. It's great, delightful. You can pick it up and jump into an adventure basically every chapter. Also currently reading, but not far because it's nonfiction, this is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Currently reading this for Evelyn Skye's Creative Inspired Happy podcast / Substack community. This is Sunday night, this coming week from yesterday. Book club pick we'll be discussing Sunday night. I don't know if I can make the live Zoom, but I'm going to try to at least read the book by then so I can listen to that book club, because she posts them very generously, so you can listen to them even if you miss the meeting. And I'm in chapter 2, and it's hitting me hard in a good way, and so enjoying that slowly. Here, as promised, Henry IV Part 2, Shakespeare, next in my canon read alphabetically because they go by King Henry. Also picked up Might Read next. We're into my look at these pretty books I might or might not read in the next few months. This is Orbital by Samantha Harvey, and beautiful paperback, Booker Prize, etc. It's short and sweet. Maybe not sweet, but it's just over 200 pages, like 204. And somebody has brought it up to book club a couple of times, to my local community book club I run, as a recommendation. So also just outer space is gorgeous and mysterious, and I love it. So looking forward to that. It might be a good road trip travel book. And look at this stunning, stupidly beautiful book. This is The Gate, the Girl, and the Dragon by Grace Lynn, Newbery Honor winner for Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. She is an author illustrator, and so she got to do her own art. And there's color art in here, guys. How often do you see color illustrations in middle grade? Not often. So this is gorgeous. Also those pattern stained edges, gorgeous, and papers and pretty stamped cover, and it's just so pretty. So this just came out last week, I believe. So this is a special edition. So if you like to collect beautiful books, get it now before this printing runs out. Again, The Gate, the Girl, and the Dragon. I know nothing about it except I loved the Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and I support authors and illustrators, and especially in middle grade, even though I don't do fantasy, but maybe someday. Anyway, looking forward to that. So more coffee for me, lots to do today, including spending time in my studio and maybe watching the DVD of Sweeney Todd I borrowed, because I can't listen to the cast recording without knowing what's happening because it's really stressful. Anyway, coffee cheers to you. Let me know what stories you're reading, loving, enjoying. There are so many good ones out there, guys. So let me know what's up, and I look forward to talking to you from a different location next Monday morning. Okay,